What's up, fight fans? This is Sonteo with another update of all the current RGBA Riverside fighters. Starting off with Mikey Garcia, 39-0 with 30 knockouts. He's got a fight date of March 16, 2019 at the AT&T Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas against undefeated IBF welterweight champion Errol the Truth Spence. This weekend, Mikey will be in New York while his dad is in the corner for Josecitos Lopez. Fight against Keith One-Time Thurman. Abner Morris, 31-3 and 1, is well into his training. He's fought a couple days of 10 rounds, and this week he got up to 12 rounds using several different sparring partners from RGBA. His opponent is undefeated Gervonta Tank Davis. I believe he's 20-0. He is promoted by Mayweather Promotions and advised by Al Heyman. Robert has reported that the main sparring partner for Tank is Isidro Ochoa, a young prospect from Top Rank, and he's left-handed but also can fight right-handed, so that's his main sparring partner. Josecito Lopez, 36-7, has arrived in New York. He's been there since Monday. In his corner will be the Big G, and it sounds like Mikey Garcia will be flying in as well to maybe not in the corner, but at least be in the crowd. And the Boxing Boys did an interview with the Big G, and I didn't know that the Boxing Boys spoke Spanish. It's pretty fluent. He did a really good job, asked them some really tough questions. And then there's also been news that Jose hurt a couple of sparring partners to the ribs, and possibly one of the opponents had a concussion. And this was reported by Rainbow for FightHype.com. So this fight is one to look out for. It's on Fox, so it's free. So I will definitely be catching this fight. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 23-0 with 16 knockouts. He's gearing up for his fight on Sunday, February 10th at the Safe Mart Arena on Fresno. On Wednesday of this week, Jose sparred 12 rounds against several fighters. I believe he uses Josue Vargas, who's a top-ranked fighter, who's 14-1. He's also using a prospect who's going to turn pro this month, Eric Puente from Vista, California, the San Diego area. And the newest addition to RGBA, John Bauza, who's 11-0. And he also uses Coachella's Ruben Rodriguez, who just fought at the Microsoft Theater a week or so ago, on the 13th. So they're all helping Jose Ramirez train for Jose Cepeda, who's 30-1. And this fight is scheduled to be in Fresno. Brandon Bam Bam Rios, 35-4-1, signed a 3-fight deal with Matchroom Boxing. He knocked out the first one already in Kansas when he fought Canelo's younger, I don't know if he's younger, probably his older brother, Ramon Alvarez. And then the second fight of that 3-fight deal would be on February 23rd in Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. Also on that card with Brandon will be one of the newest stars added to RGBA at the end of last year, Alexis El Macizo Espino from Las Vegas. He's a middleweight, and he will be making his pro debut in Tijuana along with Brandon that day. And it's recorded that Brandon gave Josecito 8 or 9 rounds of sparring in late December. And the potential opponent for Brandon Bam Bam Rios in Tijuana is Sorita Soto, says Robert Garcia. Skiba Falcao, he had announced a potential fight date of February 15th, but we have not seen him. We have not seen him in the gym in Riverside, and that date does not exist on BoxRec. So maybe that fight fell through for Skiba Falcao, 22-0 with 15 knockouts from Brazil. Eric DeLeon, 18-0 with 1 draw, 10 by coming by way of knockout. He is from Detroit, Michigan. And in his last fight in Louisiana at the end of last year, he dislocated his shoulder. And Robert mentioned Eric, Virgil, and Josh all could have possible title fights in 2019. So that's good news for Eric. This fight, when I looked up boxrec.com this morning, is no longer on the Munguia fight card in Houston, Texas. And I was wondering why there wasn't any social media on the media day with Joshua working out. I could see Virgil Ortiz and I could see Jaime Munguia doing interviews. I could see them doing their light workouts for the cameras, but I did not see Josh. So he was going to fight for the vacant NABF super flyweight title. So that's not good news for Joshua. I wonder what happened. I wonder if something happened with his opponent. It's all speculation right now, but officially on BoxRec, Joshua El Profesor Franco will not be fighting on tomorrow, Saturday, January 26th in Houston. Hector Donnaha had a very tough 10-round fight in Indio at the end of last year in December. And he's posted some pictures of him in San Antonio working out with the amateur program that him and his dad run. And Robert Biggie Rodriguez was seen in the pictures as well. Hector Donnaha from San Antonio, Texas, 16-0 with 5 knockouts, promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. Jonathan Thunder Navarro, 16-0, 8 knockouts from East LA. Also had a very tough fight in December in Indio at the Fantasy Springs Casino. No current updates on him. Carlos Licona, 14-0, 2 knockouts from Westminster, California. The newest champion to RGBA Riverside. He fights at the minimum weight, or what's called straw weight, 105, and he will be fighting on the Leo Santa Cruz. Well, not his Leo Santa Cruz opponent is not Flores anymore. He suffered an injury, so he has another replacement. But he'll be on the Leo Santa Cruz card February 16th at the Microsoft Theater in LA. Carlos Licona, 14-0, 2 knockouts, the new IBF strawweight champion for RGBA Riverside. Virgil Ortiz Jr., 11-0, 11 knockouts. His opponent has been changed for tomorrow as well. Originally, it was Saul Corral, who fought a couple years ago against Josecito Lopez. And now Virgil's new opponent is Jesus Valdez Barayan from Guatabampo, Sonora, Mexico. So this change comes only 3 days before the fight. And Virgil's been on social media doing interviews. He's doing his media days along with Jaime Munguia from Tijuana. Jaime Munguia is the headliner. Joseph Adorno has a fight date for March 17th at the Madison Square Garden in New York. His opponent is 10-2 Adriano Ramirez. This will be a 6-round fight. Joseph Adorno, older brother to Jeremy Adorno. Joseph is Blessed Hands, and Jeremy is Magic Hands. They're from Allenstown, Pennsylvania. They're Puerto Rican. Good, nice additions to RGBA Riverside. I believe Joseph's been with RGBA for all his fights. I know I didn't see Robert or Pita in his corner in his last fight in Puerto Rico, but I think for the majority of his fights, RGBA has been in his corner. He's trained by his dad. John El Terrible Bauza is a new addition to RGBA. He's 11-0 with 5 knockouts. I believe he's also Puerto Rican. So he's fighting on March 17th along with Joseph Adorno. I think these guys are top-ranked fighters. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I know for sure Joseph Adorno is. So the main event is Luis Collazo. I got a typo on Collazo's last name, versus Sammy Vargas. His opponent for John Bauza is Angel Sarinana, 10-7-2. This will be a 6-round fight. Alejandro Porchop Guerrero he was one of the stars. He was one of the stars of RGBA for 2018 before B-Fly got there, but he's been inactive. So hopefully, there was rumors that he was going to fight in December, but I don't see any of that history in BoxRec. So that fight might have fallen through. But hopefully, him and Biggie gets a fight on a Garcia Promotions card the day before Mikey fights Errol Spence. So hopefully, Biggie and Porchop get to fight March 15th in Dallas, the day before Errol Spence fights Mikey Garcia. Louie Coria, 10-2-0, earned a knockout against James Thomas, who was 6-4-0 at the time, from Grand Rapids, Michigan. He did really well for being the main event. Congratulations to Louie Coria, 10-2-0 from the Riverside area. Genaro El Conde Games from San Diego. He is scheduled to fight February 9th in Indio at the Fantasy Springs Casino against Striker Delgado. Robert said he's going to try to ask Golden Boy to put the fight on as early as possible so that he can be there for that fight and then drive all the way out to StubHub in Carson, California in order to make the Mares versus Tank Davis fight. So we'll see what happens here. Excuse me. Misael El Chino Rodriguez, 8-0. He's a Mexican Olympian with 4 knockouts. He just did a reality show in Mexico for 6 months called Exalton. He's scheduled to fight tomorrow, Saturday, January 26th in Lienzo Charro, Ciudad Guzman in Guadalajara, Jalisco. And he faces opponent Josue Castañeda Perez, who's 12-10-2. The headliner is Victoria Torres. I got another typo on her last name. For the WBC Silver Female Super Flyweight title. So Misael El Chino Rodriguez from Ciénaga, Chihuahua, 8-0, 4 knockouts. Jessie Bam Rodriguez, 8-0, 4 knockouts. He just had a birthday in January. He just turned 19. So in his first year, he had and last year in 2018 he had 4 pro fights. I saw him fight in Ontario, California, on a PBC event, and I filmed that fight, that 8-round fight, and I have it on my YouTube channel. So if you want to find that fight, just look up Jessie Bam Rodriguez, and you'll find that fight. It doesn't have any sound because the DJ was playing music in between rounds, and if I post it with that music, then there's copyright infringement, and I gotta post all those people that, all those music and all those producers. So I just took the music off and posted the video as is. Lindolfo Delgado, 7-0, 7 knockouts. He won in spectacular fashion on the 13th of January. That fight was televised on FS1. I don't know if his fight was televised on FS1, but the main events were televised on FS1. So that was his first 8-round fight versus 11-7 Martin Nicolas. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, 7-0, 6 knockouts, will be fighting 8-4-1 Victor De Rocha on Josecito's undercard this Saturday. The fight is announced as a super middleweight bout, 6-round bout. I don't know if he's actually a super middleweight at 168, but I'm sure he can make either 175. He can definitely, I don't know if he can make 175. I think the lowest he's been is in the 190s, so we'll see. Manuel Gucci Man Flores, Gucci Manny from Coachella. There was rumors that he might fight on Prospects Collide by Garcia Promotions, but he was not on the fight card. I attended that event and I recorded B-Fly's fights. I recorded all the fights that night. 7-0. He is Gucci Manny is managed by Robert's good friend Cameron Duncan. He's a southpaw. Here he is in a picture with Abner Morris as Abner Morris gears up to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Isidro Ochoa, he's been seen in the gym. He's been very active in the gym. He's a southpaw fighter. Fights at 122. And then Robert confirmed that Ochoa is the main sparring partner for Mares in preparation for Tank Davis. Ochoa will be fighting in Fresno on the Jose Carlos Ramirez undercard. And here's an old flyer. This is not the current flyer, but this is an old flyer when he fought in Lemoore, California. Isidro Ochoa, 6-0, 2 knockouts. Bryan Lua is in and out of the gym. He might be suffering a hand injury. We don't know for sure, but he was in the gym this week. He's 5-0, 2 knockouts, fights for top rank. Aaron Morales, 5-0, 3 knockouts. Had a very successful 2018. We have not heard from him lately. Ray Danger Murataya got knocked out of the night.